Dame at USC. I tell you what, this game has not meant a lot in the last several years, but in 2022, USC is set to try and make a college football playoff run. They have one loss. They would like to get into the Pac 12 championship game and make some noise there and ultimately seal their resume against an Oregon, against a Washington, whoever comes out as that number 2 seed in the Conference of Champions. USC 5-point favorites on Saturday night on ABC. First time that USC, if they can get the job done, that they will have beaten Notre Dame since 2016. Does USC break that streak this year, guys?
I think they do, but I'm really concerned about this Notre Dame defensive unit taking away primarily the USC rushing attack because for all the accolades Caleb Williams has gotten, and I feel like I sound like a broken record with the same thing talking about Ohio State, but it's still a big deal even in 2022 with high octane offenses to be able to get the yards you need on the ground when you need them. And Caleb Williams is one of the Heisman favorites for for a reason, but he's been helped a lot by a really good rushing game and a good rushing attack that has been kind of feasting on Pac-12 defensive lines that really aren't up to the same caliber that Notre Dame is. And what they're going to see this week is a huge step up in competition, especially in the front seven. So whether or not Notre Dame can keep up with the USC receivers, that's definitely a legit question for the Fighting Irish and probably the reason why I would pick USC to win this game. But I really don't think it's going to be easy for them. I think that it's going to be, by their standards, a very ugly win compared to what they've been doing the last few weeks, where they've been kind of just naming their score on offense and then letting their defense either make one or two stops or really just run out the clock and give up scores in garbage time. So I'm interested to see how the defense of USC responds in a closer game. I'm interested to see how Caleb Williams responds when he has to make those plays. He can't rely on the ground game, and he has a defense that's going to be down his throat a little bit more and breathing down his neck a little bit more. So Marcus Freeman, the Fighting Irish, they definitely are looking for one more signature win. It's been a great turnaround for them this year. They'd love to keep their rivals out of the college football playoff, but in an ugly one, by their standards at least, I think I trust USC to cover this 5-point spread. Get that first win against Notre Dame since 2016. It's probably a late touchdown, though. I don't think it's going to be one where, they dominate by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, no, and that would be huge for them to get that win. Obviously, we were all really impressed by USC and their offense, in this last game versus UCLA. I don't know that they quite get to that level in this game just because, kind of like you were saying, I think Notre Dame's defense just won't let them quite get to that level. Look, Caleb Williams, he's continuing to expand on this late season, Heisman campaign. I think this is the week he gets his Heisman moment, though. If you're a fan of the Irish, if you want to keep this one close, I think, you need to run the ball well. You need to be able to keep, Caleb Williams on the sideline for this one. And I do think they'll have some early success with this. I don't think this will be a blowout game, at least in the first half or first three quarters. I think that they will keep this to probably about a 7-point margin through the game, just kind of answering back and forth, maybe having to kick field goals, coming up with a couple of plays here and there. I just think at some point they're going to get down and they're going to get forced into a shootout with the Trojans, and that's not where they want to be, right? As soon as they get down, 10 points, 13 points, 14 points, something like that, they're going to have to start to kind of air it out and force it down the field, which will kind of get them off schedule from what they want to do. If they can stay disciplined and just commit to that process, they can keep it close. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think the Trojan defense is going to be a difference here at all, obviously, but I also don't expect consistent production out of the Irish offense. So I'm going to take USC -5. This was almost my lock of the week. I feel really comfortable with this for USC. I think this is a big moment for them to make a statement and to kind of continue that hope for a playoff spot.
I won't lock it up because it's a rivalry game, but the better quarterback at home. Uh, Notre Dame, it's not quite an Ohio State Michigan recipe where I feel like Notre Dame has equal or better components on the other side of the football that would really stop or limit USC's offense. And so for that reason, give me Caleb Williams over Drew Pine. I just don't believe in the Notre Dame offense. I know they've flashed every once in a while, but I do think despite USC's inability to consistently stop an opponent from scoring points and racking up yards, they do force a good amount of turnovers, and Drew Pine is as mistake prone at the Power 5 level as you're going to find under center. So I think USC eventually runs away with this. I think it's a good game for a little bit, but in the fourth quarter, maybe give me USC by 14, 17 points. Again, I'm not going to lock it up because I do think history should be considered here. There's a reason why USC hasn't beaten Notre Dame in 6 years. At the same time, this is a different Trojans team, and I do like USC to go ahead and probably make a run to the college football playoff with a lot of momentum behind them.
Gracious hip.